There are 3 books in the Bible known as the wisdom literature: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. The first, Proverbs, showed us that God is wise and just. Yes, we learn that God has ordered the world so that it is fair. The righteous are rewarded, the wicked are punished. In other words, you get what you deserve. But then we meet Ecclesiastes, who observes people do not always get what they deserve. Yeah, he said the world is not always fair. The life is unpredictable and hard to comprehend, just like smoke. And this makes you wonder, okay, well, is God wise and just? Exactly. And so it is that question that is being explored in the final book of wisdom, Job. All right, let's dive in. So Job begins with the strange story that takes place up in the heavens, which are described something like a heavenly command center. So God is there with these angelic creatures called the sons of God, and they are all there reporting for duty. And God points out this guy Job, his servant, showing how righteous and good he is. Then one of these angelic creatures approaches. He is referred to in Hebrew as the Satan. The Satan, who is this? Well, this word is actually a title, which literally means the one who is opposed. So out of this whole crew, he is the one questioning how God is running the world. And he proposes that Job might not actually love God, that he is only a good person because God rewards him. If God were to take away all of the good things he gave to Job, then you would see his true colors. So he thinks Job is just working the system? That's exactly right. Maybe he is obeying just to get what he wants. So God agrees to this experiment and allows Satan to inflict suffering on Job. And job losses affect everyone and everything that he cares about. It is devastating. And remember, he deserves none of this. God himself said so. The remarkable thing is that in the midst of all this suffering, Job still praises God. At least for chapters 1 and 2. But then in chapter 3, we find out how he is really feeling inside. He unleashes this poem that reveals this devastation. It is a long, elaborate curse on the day that he was born. After this, some of Job's friends come to visit him to offer their help, and all of them are like Job. You must have done something horribly wrong to deserve this. After all, we know God is just, and we know the world is ordered by God's justice and fairness, so you must be getting what you deserve. And for the next 34 chapters, the friends and Job go back and forth in very dense Hebrew poetry. His friends keep speculating about why God might have sent such suffering, and even start making up lists of hypothetical sins that Job must have committed. But after each accusation, Job defends his innocence. And Job is innocent. He is also on an emotional roller coaster. At some moments, he is very confident that God is still wise and just. Yet in other moments, he is doubting God's goodness. He even comes to accuse God of being reckless, unfair, and corrupt. So by the end of the dialogue, Job demands that God come and explain himself in person. And God does, so he comes in the form of a great storm cloud. Now God does not give Job a direct answer. He does not tell Job about the conversation with Satan. Yes, he does something very different. He takes Job on a virtual tour of the universe. He shows Job how grand the world is. And he asked him if he is even capable of running it or understanding it just for a day. He shows how much detail there is in the world. Things that we might see every day, but really do not understand at all. But God does he know it all intimately. He pays attention to the beauty and operations of the universe in ways that we haven't even imagined, and in places that we will never see. Then to conclude, God shows Job 2 wondrous beasts and brags about how great they are. Yeah, they are dangerous. I mean, they would kill you without even thinking about it. And God says they are not evil. They are actually a part of his good world. And then that is it. That is God's whole defense. It's kind of weird. I mean, what was this all about? It seems to be this. From Job's point of view, it looks like God is not just, but God's perspective is infinitely bigger. He is dynamically interacting with a whole universe of complexity when he makes decisions. And this is what God calls his wisdom. So Job asking God to defend himself is actually kind of absurd. He couldn't comprehend this kind of complexity even if he wanted to. So where does this leave us? Well, leaves Job in a place of humility. He never learned why he suffered, and yet he is able to live in peace and in the fear of the Lord. But that is not where the book ends, because after this, God restores to Job double everything he had lost. And this again is surprising. I mean, is this a reward? Is God saying, "Congratulations, Job, you passed this elaborate test"? No. I mean, the whole book just made the point that Job losing everything was not a punishment, and so now getting it back is not a reward. So why does he get it back? Apparently, God in his wisdom decided to give Job a gift. We don't know why, but what we do know is that Job is now the kind of person who, no matter what comes, good or bad, he can trust God's wisdom. And that's the book of Job. These biblical books of wisdom are amazing. Each one offers a unique perspective on the good life. And you need to hear all of them together as you learn to live with wisdom and in the fear of the Lord.